guys, it's Angelique, also known as the Light. Welcome to my channel. I know it's been a minute. I'm just checking in with y'all real quick. I can't talk that long. Um, because I have to leave my house again in a few minutes, probably the next 30 minutes. So I said, let me check on y'all. Let's see who is around. It's about 7:30 Eastern time. And I'm like, I gotta curl up my wig. I want to see if this wig, I just bought this wig, so I want to see if it curls. But I'm trying to see who is around because I haven't. Hey, Paradigm, how you been? I don't remember the last time I've been on live. Probably been over a month because I know it's been about. Oh, it's 2 months. Yeah, we're going into June, so it's been about 2 months since I've been at this job that I'm at. Hey, India. Perfect. India, you're perfect to be on this live because we always talk about coworkers and stuff like that. So I want you to hear this crazy story. I'm gonna try to get it out in 30 minutes. But I hope y'all doing all right. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to see if this wig I bought is going to curl. Because I don't like it straight. I feel like this wig would look better with a little bit of curl in it. But I hope y'all are doing well. Thank you for that donation, India, a few weeks ago. Guys, let me tell y'all something. I only received in almost 2 months now 3 donations. This is why I don't come on live. Just because I said I got a part-time job don't mean that y'all got to stop supporting me. That ain't got nothing to do with my content. Y'all can still book your phone sessions with me. You can still donate to me. Pretty much. So, and who else? Oh, yes, and Patrice. Shout out to Patrice. Patrice also, this is not no liquor. This is orange juice. I'm about to go get me a margarita, though. I had an unexpected day off, so I'm trying to get some errands done and just came from the laundromat. And then now I'm about to go. I need to get some nails for my hand. I have to have some type of tips on my hands or I feel weird. But anyway, so y'all know, hey Ella, y'all know that I had started. Click like on the chat for me, even if you just looking. Oh, thank you. And I didn't even do anything to it. I literally plopped this wig on my head. I haven't even like fixed it and put makeup in it. I didn't do anything. It's a glueless wig. I just threw it on my head today. It's brand new. I didn't even do anything to it yet. That's why I look a little crazy. A little bumpy here because I didn't even flatten it and stuff. But anyway, so I started this new job. I'm in hospitality right now. I work with food and alcohol. No, I don't work at no damn fast food place. Don't be nosy. But no, I don't work in fast food. You know, I never tell people where I work because it's a safety thing, you know. I be having stalkers, so I don't need people to know where I work. But the job is really easy. I like that I get tipped. So I noticed that, you know, when I'm kind, people will tip me well. So that's nice. So it's a very easy job. It's really just a game. If you're nice to people, people will bless you. That type of thing. So I started this job 2 months ago. And on day 1, I worked at this spot, which is my favorite spot to work at. And it is like they sell steaks, right? And it's a pretty expensive spot. So I work at a venue place, so there's like different stands and different restaurants that people could go get food. So like sometimes they have games there, sometimes they have like soccer games, or they may have a concert. That's basically, I work in a venue spot in New York City, pretty much. So one of the spots that I like to work at, they sell steak. So people, it's very expensive. You know, it's like a $30 steak, right? But any $30 steak sandwiches. So most of the people there, they tip well, because if you can afford $30 for a damn steak sandwich that doesn't come with any, yeah, that doesn't really curl too good. That curls a little bit. That doesn't really come with fries or a side or mashed potatoes or something. That means that you can afford to tip well, right? But anyway, I met this girl, this coworker, and on day one, her and I worked together. And when I met her, she gave me young vibes, but come to find out, she really is 34 years old. I was really surprised because her energy felt 22, 23. And no offense to me, 22, 23 is a baby, right? And I was like, wow, you're 34? Oh, that's curl. Okay, that's curl, guys. All right, I thought they got me for my money. So it's pretty good human hair. So I found that interesting. You ever met somebody and it's like their energy seems very, it's not that they seem youthful, but they seem immature. That was the vibe that I got from her energy. She seems immature. She looks a little bit younger too. She is black, so she looks younger, but she's 34, but her energy felt immature. Like, I found that to be interesting, right? So we work well together. She's a Scorpio, and I attract a lot of Scorpios. Even uh the chef that works there, he's a Scorpio, and we get along very well. And I kept meeting a lot of Scorpio co-workers. So day one, after the shift, she was like, hey girl, can I get your number? I was like, nah, I don't give I don't give coworkers my number. Like, I got your back when we at work, but outside of work, coworkers aren't friends. Do you understand that? So she was like, oh yeah, no problem. I said, but I do have an Instagram page. I'll give you the Instagram. If you need to contact me, contact me there. Guys, immediately she started contacting me. Yeah, let me see. Paradigm said, I'm at a point where I'm officially about to lead the 9 to 5 world for good. I work better alone, just need focus on alternatives that will work for me. Listen, I don't want to be in a 9 to 5 world either, but I had to. And because my crafts and people weren't supporting me, so I couldn't pay my bills, so I'm forced into it. But honestly, it's not that bad, guys. It really is not. Ask God. If you have to work a 9 to 5, ask God to divinely put you where you belong. Pretty much. I think divinely I ended up here for a reason. And I like that I get every other week off, pretty much. So anyway, even though I'm working 2 weekends in a row, Memorial Weekend whooped my ass. But do what's best for you, Paradigm. India says, I know what you mean. Some women are so childish and in shock that they are raising children. The overcomer of all obstacles. Hi, so glad to see you. So glad to see you too. India says, 9 to 5 world literally makes me sick sometimes. It does, because we're not really supposed to be doing it. But if you have to temporarily to pay your bills and to survive, do it. All right, let me get back to the story. So immediately she started DMing me, and it wasn't about work. It was like asking me questions about trying to get to know me, like asking me questions about myself, or like randomly telling me what she's doing. Like, yeah, girl, I just got home, about to take a shower, about to this, about to that. And sometimes I would answer, and sometimes I would just click like on it just to let her know, like, I saw your message and whatever. So she was like, oh, what time? So then in the morning time, she started messaging me. Like, if we have morning shift or we have an evening shift, she'll be like, oh, where are you? Like, I'm gonna say maybe in the morning, or maybe 2 to 3 hours before our shift, I would get a DM from her. And I'm one of those people that I don't talk to nobody before work. We talk to customers at work. So, when I wake up and I'm getting ready for work, I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to talk to nobody, especially a coworker, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't talk to friends. I don't talk to the guy that I'm seeing right now. It's like, please, like, leave me alone, you know? So, but I don't really care. Like, if I don't respond to you, I don't feel bad about it. Sometimes, guys, oh, hey, Amber. Thanks, Amber. I be seeing you clicking like on my TikTok. Thank you so much, love. I appreciate the 9.99. Thank you, love. Thank you for always being a mentor. Oh, you're so sweet. You're welcome. Thank you for being a great supporter. So, Shorty started, I'm from New York, sorry, you're going to hear my slang sometimes. So, this lady started messaging me, and she'll be like, oh, what time you getting to work? I'll be like, I really don't know. And I live close to work. I live like literally 15 minutes away from work. So, I'm like, I don't know. It depends. Sometimes I might take an Uber to work. Sometimes I take the bus. So I was like, honestly, I really don't know. But when I'm leaving my house, I will message you and let you know. Okay, well, whoever gets there first, hold the space in line. So it's inhumane at my job. In order to get the assignment, the restaurant that you really want to work at, you got to get to work maybe an hour before the shift. So that way the manager can put you where you want to be. If not, whatever's left over, that's the assignment that you get for the day. So we literally have to wait in line for that, right? I know it sounds crazy. So sometimes I might get to work 30 minutes or an hour before to get my assignment because we're not assigned to the same restaurant every day. Anyway, so she's like, yeah, so, whoever gets there first, hold a spot in line. She lives far. She lives in the Bronx. I live in Queens. And I'm like, well, I'm closer. So if I get there, I'll just hold the space in line. And she's like, okay, cool. Anyway, most of the time she gets there first. And that's been our little routine. Then she started saying, oh, are you going to eat, before you start work? I'm like, no, they give out free food before we go to work. I eat at home. She eats. So she'll say, oh, come with me to the cafe and let's talk while, we take our little break before we go to the restaurant to work. So that's cool. That's fine. I don't mind talking to you. But, we don't have to do that every day. Because sometimes before your shift, you want to be alone. You don't really want to be talking to nobody, right? Anyway, what happened was I just noticed she started messaging me about personal business. So now she's talking about her food stamps got stolen. She comes from a family of 8 siblings. She's telling me her business. She's telling me her love life. She is, she also, on top of that, I'm not being rude or anything like that. She is gay. So she's talking about women. Another thing, I don't think that all gay women want me or anything like that. But I also have to be careful because I've had friends in the past who were gay and they started out befriending me, and then the next thing I know, they're like, oh, I like you, I want to be with you. And I'm like, girl, you knew I liked men when we first met, right? And it's crazy because she's a Scorpio, and all my Scorpio friends besides one have tried to sleep with me. So I'm very wary when I meet Scorpio women. So no, I don't think that all, just because you're gay, you want me. No, I don't think like that. I'm just speaking from experience. I keep my watchful eye on everybody, even people who say they straight. You have to keep your eye on people because men and women will befriend you, straight or gay, and they will literally try to, make a move on you. One day I went on her Instagram story and she had this meme that said something about big girls. Like, oh, I would tear a big girl up. And I'm like, you see, I gotta watch you. Because now you're giving subliminal messages. Like, I never seen her post, as the weeks were going by, I never saw her post anything like that. She would post her family, her nieces, her nephews, but then all of a sudden you post a meme talking about you would tear a big girl up sexually. Who are you talking about? That seems random. Where'd that come from? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, I got to keep my eye on her just in case she developed some type of crush. Hey, Real. Paradigm says, are you living in New York in the sense you look forward to a new beginning? Are you living in New York? I live in New York. You know I live in New York. What do you mean? I live in New York. You mean, am I looking forward to living somewhere else in the future? Yeah, I'm looking forward to living somewhere else, like out of the country. I want to move out of America. Y'all know that already. But anyway, back to the story. I started to realize that this woman was giving energy vampire, right? And the reason why I said she was giving energy vampire, a lot of energy vampires latch on to you very, very fast, guys, right? Very fast. Energy vampires want to make you their little energy lamp, in a sense, right? They need your light. Latch on very, very quickly. Another thing is they'll pretend that they're into the same things that you're into. And this was something that I noticed, right? She kept talking about like spirituality because I mentioned it and said that I was a spiritual life coach. Now, I'm not saying that she's not really into it, but I can tell that she's not knowledgeable really in it. It was more like trying to impress me, like, oh yeah, I'm into that. I'm peaceful. I'm this and that. I don't walk around telling people I'm peaceful. I do breath work. I do this. I do that. That's what she was doing with me. It was like, well, my apartment is peaceful and I do this and I meditate. Don't you meditate? Don't you do this? Don't you do that? It was like, I was like, well, I do what I do. Everything's not going to work spiritually for everybody. So do what's best for you. You know, like comparing what she does. The thing about energy vampires, they might come off optimistic. They might come off peaceful, but they're really not. Okay? They're really not. They're really lost souls a lot of time. A lot of times they are miserable, right? They saw something in you. They saw that you were genuinely peaceful. They saw that you're grounded. You might not even be perfect because I'm not perfect. I keep it real. If I'm having a bad day, I feel that shit. I feel angry. I feel mad. I'm going to tell you, no, I'm not happy today. To me, that's a balanced person. A person that's pretending to be happy all the time is not balanced, right? So I found that very interesting that she was always finding ways to tell me how peaceful of a person she was. And she said that she was the oldest of 8 siblings. That's what it was. Yeah, the oldest of 8 kids. And how she is such a good example for her siblings and her nieces and nephews. And she's such a great person. And she's this and that. I'm like, it sounds more like she's trying to convince herself that she's these things, but she's really not, you know? So I'm taking notes of her codependent behavior. And also, what was interesting to me was like her just hitting me up, telling me like random things. I thought this was very interesting. I was wondering, who was she talking to or telling these things before she even met me? Like I would get a message from her and it will say, oh, I just ordered some chairs for my apartment. I'm like, what? Like what would make you just hit up your coworker who you only known for like a week and start telling them about your furniture, or start telling them like, oh, I'm in Harlem right now and I'm at this place and I'm doing this and that? And what would make you talk to someone like that? A lonely soul, an energy vampire. You know those energy vampires that walk around the grocery store, Walmart, They love going into retail places. That's the energy she gives. And I'm not talking about like, the precious little old lady that just wants to talk for the day because she lives alone. I get that. They could be energy vampires too. But that's the energy that she was giving to me, and I was just like, what am I supposed to say about that? Like, should I care? She was like, oh, this is like my first apartment. I haven't had an apartment to myself in so long. I'm just so glad I got my apartment in New York. And I was just like, congratulations. I'm so glad that, you got what you want. You manifested what you want. And, she would just keep, they doing fireworks outside. She kept looking for me to give her energy. I don't know you. And this is how you know you're dealing with an energy vampire. It's like she was getting an attitude that I wasn't hyping her up. I don't know you. Why should I be more excited for your apartment in New York than you are? Why should I be excited? You got a new bed or you got a TV. Like, she was sending me pictures of her TV stand. She would send me pictures of her in Home Depot. And I'm like, what is going on here? Like, and it'll be like random, like even on our days off. I have a life on our days off, right? Why are you sending me pictures of you in Home Depot? Why would I care about that? So this is how you know when you're dealing with an energy vampire, guys. They are going to talk about surface-based shit. They don't really want to build with you. What they need, they just need company. They need someone to talk to. They need you to encourage them. They need your energy. That's it. You're just the energy pot for them. And I was getting annoyed. I really wanted to tell her, like, girl, like, why are you showing me this? And it's crazy because a lot of energy vampires, they be having so much family. So I'm in my head like, if you got all these siblings, she says she's close to her mom. Why are you not hitting them up? Why are you hitting up a random coworker looking for energy? It was sad. I understand she might be lonely in New York, but I'm in the same boat. I don't have any friends in New York, but I'm not looking to be friends with people at work because that's where you make your money. Please do not be friends with people that you work with. I understand some people have certain careers where it requires you for your boss to be like family. That's different. Like people who are entertainers and different things like that. I get it. But no, nobody, I don't look at people. That's not gunshots, guys. They're doing fireworks because they didn't get a chance to release them, I guess, yesterday. But this really bothered me, so after a while, I stopped responding to her. So this is when I realized, she's a little bit more negative than she was appearing. So I already put this video up. One day I got to work and she had a booger coming out of her nose. Y'all seen that video I posted the other day? So she had a booger coming out of her nose. And I didn't say it in a mean way. Actually, when I did that video, I said to her, oh, a big booger is coming out of your nose. I actually did not say that. I said something's coming out of your nose. And that's when she went like this and wiped it on her pants. And I was looking like, wait, what? Did she just do that? Like, we weren't that far from the job's bathroom. Like, she could have been like, oh, I'll be right back, girl. Let me go to the bathroom and let me blow my nose. She didn't do that. So I was just like, whoa. And I noticed that she had this embarrassed look on her face. And I was just, I said to her, I said, hey, I only told you because I would want someone to tell me if I had something in my nose. And keep in mind, guys, we work with food and alcohol. Could you imagine oh my God, could you imagine if she went to her station and she was giving somebody food or making a drink for them and that big ass booger? I'm talking about, it was huge. It was like literally hanging out of her nose, right? Could you imagine if she would have went to work and a customer complained and said, "Oh, your workers here hygiene is nasty." Like, I would do a return if I was buying food and I saw the person giving me my food and they had a big ass booger falling out their nose. I would return the food. I would be so scared. Like, am I about to eat more boogers? Am I about to drink some boogers? You know what I'm saying? That was another reason why. And I said it was best for me to tell her now because we weren't working together. So it wasn't like I could have told her later on or so what happened if the booger was gonna fall somewhere. Basically. So after I told her about the booger, we clock in and then we go into the cafeteria to go get something to drink before we started work. When we get into the cafeteria, she starts looking at me like this, and I'm like, what is she looking at? And then she goes, "Oh, you got white stuff in the corners of your mouth." And I'm like, I knew that there was nothing in the corner of my mouth, guys. I knew that already, okay? This side doesn't curl too well. I don't know what's going on. I knew that there was nothing in the corner of my mouth. But for, just to appease her, I wiped my mouth like this. I looked at my hand and did my finger and there was nothing there. So I took out my phone. I looked at myself in the phone, and that's when I noticed there was nothing on my face. So I looked over at her and I was like, "Oh, thanks." And then she looked down. She was like, "Yeah, no problem, no problem." And I was just like, why would she lie like that? Like, you felt so embarrassed. You felt, I guess, belittled because I told you the truth. Now, here's what's crazy. A couple of days later, I had a manager who had flour on her butt. And she was walking around for like a good hour with that flour on her butt before I told her, right? And her and I was the only female working in that stand that day. So I said, "You know what? Let me tell her about the flour on her butt." She reacted completely different in comparison to that other young lady. She was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." She ran to the bathroom, came back. "Oh my goodness, thank you, girl. Nobody told me. Thank you." That's the difference between these broken souls. You know what I'm saying? These insecure individuals, these energy vampires. They don't want you to know that they need you. They don't want you to know that they're using you for your energy, basically. Right? So that was a big red flag for her. Another red flag was she told me she put her hands on one of the coworkers, and I was like, "What?" So she went to go get some food from another restaurant at the venue, and the woman told her that was working there at the venue, she told her, "You're not supposed to be behind here where we're at. Like, stand right there." And the lady put her hands up and said, like, "Back up." She said she pushed the woman because the woman put her hands up. I'm like, why would you push your coworker? Like, you could have got fired, girl. So she said, "I don't care. Nobody's going to disrespect me at work. She thinks she playing." And I'm like, you're lucky that, none of the customers reported you or whatever. So that was another thing that was weird to me. Few days later, no. Let's go to a few days ago, last week, right? What's this? Today's Tuesday? Okay. So I'm at work. I get to work and I see that she's not clocking in. I don't see her on a clock-in line. So I'm like, where is this girl? So I message her on her DM and I say, "Hey, did you come into work today?" No answer. I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm not gonna bother anybody. They don't owe me anything. They don't have to tell me that they're not at work. So she doesn't respond. I go on to work. I work the day. The day was beautiful. I go home. Something tells me, go on Instagram. I go on Instagram about 3 o'clock in the morning. I look on Instagram, guys, and I look at her story, and there's suicidal messages in her story, and I'm going, what the fuck? The hell? So basically, her suicide letters was saying, I don't, love shouldn't feel like this. If I died, I wouldn't feel anything. Um, I just need to die because then I wouldn't feel. Basically, that's basically what the messages was saying. I don't have her phone number. I wasn't gonna call. I said, well, I'm gonna see what's gonna happen. Is she gonna come into work tomorrow? Right? I didn't panic because I know this sounds a little what is the word? This sounds like insensitive, but I have seen this a lot. You know, I've seen people crying out, wanting attention, and I feel like she has siblings, she has family. That's their job. That's not my job as a coworker. Now, if I didn't see anything, if I didn't see her come into work the next day, I probably would have I don't know if I would have did that actually. Maybe I would have let 2 days go by. I don't know. I might have told management maybe they can go do a welfare check on her because they have her address, and I know she's not originally from New York. But at the same time, some people don't want that type of help, you know. So the girl that I work with at the steak restaurant, we were sitting together, and here comes the energy vampire. So she looks like she was crying, like she looked like she was been crying all night. So I said, hey girl, what's up, how you doing? And she said, oh, I'm all right. You know, I said, you good? I said, you know, I DM'd you twice to check on you. Are you all right now? She was like, yeah, I'm all right. Why? I was just like, oh, okay, cool. I wasn't going to say anything in front of my other coworker because that would be embarrassing, you know. She was like, oh yeah, I didn't even call out yesterday. I just didn't show up to work. I said, you didn't call out? She was like, no. I was like, and they didn't say anything to you? She was like, nah. I was just like, well, okay. Well, there's thousands of people that work there. They probably didn't even notice that she didn't show up to work. Whatever. So, what was so rude, she looked at the girl that I work with, and she was like, oh, that's the girl you work with upstairs? I was like, yeah. She was like, okay. She didn't say hello to her. She didn't say anything. She just sat down and she started talking and was like, but anyway, so let me show you these chairs that I bought for my apartment. And I'm looking, I looked at the other girl, the coworker, and she looked at me like, what the fuck? That was just so disrespectful. If you walk up on two people already sitting together, already having a conversation, how dare you sit down and then only start talking to one person? That's rude. I would excuse myself, or I would have been like, oh, hey guys, what are y'all talking about? And then we all talk. So all three of us, once we clock in, we go to the cafe to get some juice. And when we get into the cafe, she's trying to do that again, right? So I start talking to both of them. Basically, I take over the energy and I start talking to both of them. After maybe 30 minutes, she went to her floor. Me and my other coworker, who were cool, we went to work. And it's funny, both of them are Scorpios. So the girl I work with, she says, like, what's wrong with her? I was like literally trying to make conversation with her, and she was like deliberately ignoring me, over talking me. Like, I'm not gonna sit in a cafe with y'all anymore. I'll just sit somewhere else. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's wrong with that girl. She was just like, yeah, like that was just so weird. So yesterday, when I was at work, I get to work and I see the girl that I work with. We're standing in line to get our assignment, and something tells me turn around. When I turn around, the energy vampire is right behind me, right? Oh, let me go back. Let me rewind. After seeing those suicide letters, right? I don't even know if I can say that. Unaliving letters that she wrote the messages in her story on Instagram. She claimed like she's hacked. Guys, I'm like, yo, this girl lied to my face. And I understand nobody has to tell me the truth. If you're going through something mentally, I think the girl is mentally ill pretty much. And she probably had a manic episode and she's good now, you know. You don't have to tell me that you are mentally going through something. You don't have to tell me that you're suicidal or whatever the case is. But lying and say you got hacked. Oh yeah, I got rid of that account. I must be hacked or something. Girl, stop it. But anyway, the next day I'm in line. I look behind me and Shorty is standing only 4 people away from me. So now she doesn't want to talk to me at all. Now she's avoiding me. She's avoiding me because she's an energy vampire and she feels she can't have me to herself. What is the issue? Why can't we all 3 talk? Why can't I talk to other coworkers? I can only talk to you? What the fuck is this? You know? So I turn and as soon as I turn, she go like this. She puts her head down and starts looking at her phone like I didn't see her. So I turn around to my other coworker and I say, you know, homegirl back there. So she looked and she goes, I see her. She was like, she came in. So she saw you when you walked in because you walked in and skipped with me. I said, exactly. I said, but it's okay. Then the floor I work on, that's where they give out the lunch. So we go upstairs. We're sitting outside at benches, you know, letting the sun hit us. We're having a, you know, good little chat. I turn, she's out there getting her lunch. So she saw me, you know. So now she's angry. You know, ignore these energy vampires, guys. This is what they're going to do, right? You remember those Tamagotchi little toys that came out in the 90s? I don't know if you remember that. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't even realize y'all was talking all this time. Remember those Tamagotchi little toys from the 90s? I believe it came out in 1993 because I Googled it. That's how these energy vampires want you to treat them. So I gotta walk with you like you some little fucking toy in my pocket, right? I gotta walk with you like you Polly Pocket. I gotta act like you my baby. I got, oh, you good today? You all right? You not suicidal? How's your family? I gotta nurture you. I don't know you. I don't owe you my energy. And energy vampires are territorial. So in her mind, it's like, oh, you know, like you was mine first. What? I don't know you. I don't owe you my energy. I could talk to all my coworkers. I talk to the cooks, the chef, the security dude, the managers. I talk to everybody. And now you dipping and dodging and hiding. One, I think she's dipping and dodging because she knows that I figured her out. She got mental illness. She's suicidal. She's embarrassed. Her hygiene's off. She's not who she says she is. And she's looking to be coddled. I'm not your mommy. A lot of these energy vampires are looking to be loved. They're looking for you to mother them, for you to father them. And that is not our job. So don't let people turn you into those little Tamagotchi little games or those little Polly Pocket games where they think you're gonna put them in your fucking pocket and treat them like they're your baby. You're not my child. I don't have any children. I don't have to give you energy and check on you and make sure you good. You know what else she used to do? She used to hit me up every morning talking about, oh, what time we got to clock in for work. So I would send her a picture of the schedule. I said, where's the paper they gave you? I said, come on now, you an adult. It's not about her not knowing the schedule. It's her always wanting energy and communication. Her wanting to be baby. So that's why I felt like her energy is so childlike, because it is. She might be 34 years old physically, but mentally and emotionally, she's a child. Why would a 34-year-old woman ask me every single day what time she got to be to work? Because that's what she's looking for. She's looking to be mothered. I'm not your mommy. I know your mother had 8 children and you probably didn't get mothered properly because she had 7 more motherfucking kids after you. I'm not your mother. Don't let these people who didn't do the healing work suck you of your energy. I'm 41 years old. I don't have any children. And I damn sure ain't got no kid who's 34. All right. So these are the signs, these small talk, them looking for you to mother them or father them just telling you random shit that they shouldn't be telling you, energy vampire. They're looking for you to be, nurturing towards them. No, 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 no. Get out of here with that. I, I don't go to work for that. I don't befriend people for that. India says, "Sorry guys, I was talking, but I wanted to get this story out because I gotta go. That's why." India says, "Some of them be lazy at work too." Yeah, they do be lazy at work. She works, but she's not charming, basically, and she's not feminine either. There's nothing wrong. You could be a woman. She's a masculine. I don't like to be derogatory. They call these women studs. She calls herself a stud. She's more masculine presenting. She's more like stud like. So she's not charming. So she don't get a lot of tips. The feminine girls, we're gonna get a lot of tips. I do my makeup when I go to work and stuff like that. So the girls who are, skinny and pretty, or, like myself, more feminine, we get more tips than the masculine presenting girls, basically. That's just how men are in general. But because the men be the ones who be tipping. But yeah, that's the story with that one. Just be careful. And I'm glad I used my discernment and kept her at arm's reach. I'm glad I never gave that girl my phone number. I'm glad she don't know where the fuck I live, and it's cool. And even if I see her at work tomorrow, I gotta go to work tomorrow, I'm gonna still say, "Hey girl, good afternoon. How you doing? You good? You good?" I'm not gonna mistreat her because I actually feel bad for her. She's not mentally in the right place. She's a broken soul. Paradigm says it looked like a keychain with the little images on it. Yes, yep, that was a Tamagotchi toy. It was a small with a little keychain thing on there. India says the booger lady was standing right behind you. India, why do narcs always talk about committing suicide? Rich Bay says very pretty. Flower and booger are different. That is true, Rich. You're right. Flower and booger are different. But you know what? If I have flower on my ass, I still want somebody to tell me. If I got a booger coming out my nose, I still want somebody to tell me. Flower on your ass is more sexual, though. And she was a cute girl. So I think, and men were looking at her butt, So that, I don't know. Both of them are weird. She's disgusting. Can we have your hair details? Oh yeah. Do I have the thing here? Let me see if I have it near me. I'm trying to see, do I have it around? I think I put it somewhere in my closet. Let me see something. I'll leave it in the comment section because I don't have it around right now. The bag that came in. So I'll leave the hair details in the comments. I got it off the TikTok shop, believe it or not. Okay, things are always good in the beginning and then the mask falls. Yep. Paradigm says, this is why I have no desire to make any friends anymore because socializing has become vamping off people. Yep. People are not looking for friendship. What they're looking for is energy. Oh, it's so scary. They're looking for energy. How like plants are. Plants give you oxygen. Plants clean the air. Plants alter the energy in the room. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for house plants. I am not no fucking house plants. Rich Bay says, that's why I don't like giving out my number. Yup. I'm so glad I never gave that girl my number. India, they have tons of family, friends, and spouses. It's never enough. They are empty. Yes, yes, exactly. They're empty. That's what it is. And you not charging up on my energy, girl. Rich Bay, with strangers to you. Yup. That's true. It is easier to talk to strangers. Validation. Your hair is so pretty. Thank you. India says, that's creepy. India, I had to block a girl from work who asked for my number. I stopped responding and blocked her. She was getting ahead of her. Oh, I blocked. She had 2 Instagrams. I blocked both of them. And I screenshot the suicide messages so that she can never say that that was not her. And it has a date. You know, when you take a picture, it's in your phone, the date, everything. So I did screenshot it so she could never say that. Amber says they treat us like celebrities. They do. Rich Bay, everyone does it when they feel comfortable too. I don't get online and talk about my business, but some people feel comfortable too. Yeah, that is true. Believe it or not, I have been more safer having a YouTube than talking to coworkers or like people in the street. I have crazy stories about coworkers, crazy stories about telling family and friends about my business, crazy stories of things happening after telling them, but I haven't had anything too crazy happen. Maybe jealous friends finding my YouTube or something like that. Pretty much. Yeah. Let's see. No, it's not the same. Because you know why? My channel is based on helping people, right? I never meet any of you, right? So her having family, she has family, friends, exes, all kinds of people in her life, right? You have more of a harm telling people at work your business, right? I told this story. I haven't seen you on my channel, but last year I worked somewhere else. A coworker found my TikTok, right? Found my TikTok. This is why I keep my online life and my job life separate, right? My YouTube and TikTok life are separate, right? And I've never been found. But for some reason, this girl found me. And I don't know how she found me, but she found me on TikTok, right? Then she told a manager who did not like me. And then the manager came to me and started asking me for spiritual work, right? And because I didn't give it to her, she started to make my life a living hell at work, basically. So please keep your social media and your work life. Please, your coworkers are not your friends, guys. I'm telling you, you don't shit where you eat. Tomorrow I can delete this, right? I can delete this. But where you work, that's how you pay your bills, you know? I mean, some people get fired for what they put online, you know? I don't put stuff online that can get me fired. Basically. But yeah, that coworker last year, she was jealous because I have a TikTok and I have a couple of followers, and the lady wanted to like basically use me spiritually and she couldn't, so I was able to cut her off. But another thing is when I tell my business on here, I tell it in a story format that can help others. You sitting there telling me I got a TV stand and oh, they stole my food stamps. What is that doing to me? That's not doing nothing for me but draining me. Just dumping your shit on me. Dumping. I'm one person, right? What is that doing for me? Absolutely nothing. I'm not gaining anything from that small talk. Now, if we are having a conversation about uplifting each other, spirituality, and how can we make this better and that better, now that is a conversation where you're feeding each other back and forth. That is different. You just telling me all your business and dumping all your trauma and pulling me. You can't, and when they're empty, they can't feed me back. What can you give me? If you empty and you an energy vampire, what can you give me? I get absolutely nothing from you. Nothing. You don't get anything from me. So when I tell my stories on YouTube, I ain't telling y'all to, I'm not trauma dumping on you. I'm telling you in a format to warn you. This is what happened. This is the lesson that you're going to get from this, basically. Oh, Paradigm, you said, am I over New York? Oh, I've been over New York. Amber says, yes, that's they want to stay connected to you in an obsessive way too. It's weird. Or they want to stay connected to you because they know you live a very lucky and blessed life. Yep, that is so true. You got to understand, people are jealous of you. I'm not saying she's jealous of me. People are fascinated and sometimes jealous of you because you live a peaceful life. It's nothing to do with your looks. It's nothing to do with your money. It's nothing to do with your house or your clothing or this or that. It's to do with your peace. You know, even like when we're like going into work, I notice she be like, you ready to get this money? Come on, let's grind and I'm like, no, I don't really think of work like that. I'm blessed to have a job. I go in, I do my job, and I clock out. That's the kind of worker I am. I'm not no worker bee. I don't view work like that. Having a job is a blessing. I appreciate it. I go in with a positive attitude, but I'm not, oh yeah, I'm going to work today. Woo! Hell no. What? The day I'm able to just be at home and have my own job, you know, my own business, is the day that you'll see me. Oh, I'm so happy. I woke up this morning and I'm having my own business. Working for someone else it could get depressive. It gets repetitive and it gets depressive, basically. Okay. Hey, Sheba, what's up? Hey, Angelique, energy is currency. Light workers, just be careful. Yep. Amen. Small Levi, how you doing? You're right, sister. I'm happy you caught the live too, even though I'm about to get out of here. No, that's a good question. If the narcissist is dead, and here's what's crazy, I don't consider the young lady at work a narcissist. I just think that she's actually a lost soul. I don't really consider her narc. I think that she just needs to do some healing work, you know. Oh, another thing, energy vampires are not optimistic. They pretend to be optimistic. So I remember she had asked me a question. She was like, oh, what made you take this job? I said two things. I said, I know the pay is not that bad. We get tips. And on top of that, I like how we'll work for we either work like 6 to 9 days straight, and then the following week we're off. So I love that. So that gives me a chance to be able to go on vacation if I wanted to. You know, y'all guys know I love to travel. So she was like, oh, okay. I said, yeah. So one of my treats to myself is to save up some money, and I'll be able to take a trip, maybe for my birthday, you know, July or August, basically. So she was like, oh, okay, I took this job because, you know, I just got a new apartment. I want to furnish my apartment. I got no furniture. So, oh, okay, that's what's up. So she was like, travel? I was like, yeah. She was like, oh, where you want to go? I was like, I'm not really sure. I have a superstition. I don't really tell people where I go, but it's going to be out of the country. She was like, you shouldn't go out the country. You're going to get stuck out there. And, you know, everything with Trump, you might not be able to come back to America. And I was like, girl, I was like, what are you talking about? I'm American, girl. What are you talking about? I'm not worried about that. I said, I'm not worried about Even if I get stuck in the country that I'm going to, I'm not worried about living over there, eating coconuts and eating mango and sleeping on the beach. I'll figure it out, basically. But yeah, I was like, little things she said. A lot of times people are jealous that you are fearless, that you have the ability to want to fly to another country by yourself. She don't even got a passport. Doing all that yapping. Girl, you don't even got a passport. Some people admire you that you can walk alone and you're not lonely. Some people admire you that uh you're not really into that matrix. You're not sweating no job. They don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of different things about you that people could be jealous about because they're not like that. They don't think like that. They're fearful, basically. They are so fearful. Small Levi said, great live. Thank you so much. Okay, Paradigm. Let me see. India says, I have some coworkers who would never want to see me again in life. Yeah, she's dipping and dodging. People crazy. Let me tell you, I was in Primark, I think 2 weeks ago, and it was this girl that I grew up with in church. And I saw her. I wasn't going to speak to her. I don't even like her, right? And I'm 41, so she's got to be at least 45, 46. This girl's all dipping and dodging and in the racks and stuff, trying to not make me see her. And it's like, I've been saw you. I was never going to fucking talk to you. Like, people are so weird, guys. I mean, she could have just walked past me. I was never going to talk to her, I thought that was so funny. Y'all been bumping into people from your past, people you grew up with, or high school, or college, or I don't know, ex-lover, family. I'm not running. I'm not hiding because I see somebody. I'm not doing all of that. Now, there's been times where I saw an ex-lover. I just crossed the street, basically. I just crossed the street. That didn't work. His ass followed me and still spoke to me, basically, and I just had to shut his ass down. But homegirl was doing the Little Kim all up in the racks. Go look at the Little Kim stance and dance, trying to hide from me, not knowing I don't like you, bitch, and I was never going to talk to you. I thought that was so funny. Right? Demons be scattering. But yeah, I might see that girl tomorrow at work, but I really don't care. I'ma still be kind and just say hello, whatever, basically. But that's why you don't be friends with people, because people would make something out of nothing. In her mind, you get to understand, when you don't give people the friendship that they thought they was going to get from you, when you don't give them the energy that they feel that they are so entitled to, they're mad at you. They're going to avoid you. In her mind, I'm treating her bad because I'm talking to my other coworkers that I work with. You get what I'm saying? It's like, what? They want you all to yourself. Okay? They want you all to yourself. They want you all to themselves. That's what she wants. That's how you know you're dealing with an energy vampire. They get territorial over your energy. Girl, you don't own me. No. You do not own me, love. I thought that was so crazy. That was so crazy. But yeah, I definitely, gotta be careful, because there's a lot of energy vampires out here who, they're not doing their healing work, they're not growing, and they are coming for you guys, and it sounds crazy. They coming. India says, Paradigm said the snake trance. That's a good description. But people be dwelling on the past. Yup. Oh, yes. Yeah. I was like, girl, you doing all that dipping and dodging. I was never going to talk to you. And the minds are opposite from ours, too. If you miss one of their phone calls, they get pissed. Yup. Exactly. One day she said, She hit me up right before work, and I was watching my YouTube, one of my favorite YouTube channels. I was eating my lunch. I was just in the zone. And then she messaged me and asked me something, and I just responded with one word. And then she wrote me back and was like, "You good?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good. Like, love, you bothering me, and I'm about to see you at work in an hour. Get the fuck off my phone. Why are you hitting me up? I'm about to see you." That's something she could have waited to ask me, and then gonna ask me, "Am I good?" I wasn't even mad. I didn't want to ignore her. So I said, "Well, let me hurry up and, just respond to her." And she asked me something. I just typed back, "Yes." And then she gonna hit me back and say, "Oh, you good?" I say, "I'm good. I'm watching YouTube and I'm eating my lunch. I'm enjoying myself before I get to work." And she just clicked like on it. It's like, I don't have to fucking talk to you, you know? And I like the other girl I work with, and she's younger. She's only 20 years old. I call her my little sis, And we have each other's Instagram. And actually, after work, I had messaged her, and she didn't message me till today. She said, "Girl, you're not at work today," because sometimes when you work too many hours, they'll cut your day. So they cut my day today, which I didn't care. I got some rest or whatever. The Memorial weekend whooped my ass, and I worked yesterday, Memorial Day. So I was like, I didn't care they cut me today. Now, if that was that girl, she would have been mad, like, "I messaged you yesterday and you just now hitting me up," or she would have been like, "You good?" I don't have to answer you. So that's how these energy vampires are. They're territorial over your energy. You got to be available for them at all times, because you got to understand, spiritual energy is just like drinking water and eating food and needing sunlight. That's what you need to survive. They need your energy to survive. But I gotta get out of here. But I'm gonna tell y'all this quick story. Should I tell y'all this quick story? No, I'm gonna save it for the next live. I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, I'm gonna come back on live. Sometime, maybe Thursday, I'll come back on live, because I want to tell y'all how God has been testing my character, and I got a blessing. So remember, I was telling you guys before how all year it felt like people were like testing me spiritually, and I felt like, "Oh, people thinking I'm a punk or something. Am I giving off punk energy? Why are people trying to punk me?" But yeah, I'm gonna save that story, because I got a blessing. The universe was testing my character, and I kept passing these tests, and finally the universe blessed me. So I'm definitely going to tell y'all that story the next time I come on live. If I don't come on live on Thursday, I'll come on live next week, because I'm off next week, basically. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you that, guys. Please be careful. Your neighbors, your coworkers, even a little elderly people walking down the street. I'm talking anybody. Anyone could be an energy vampire. Anyone could be broken. Anyone could be looking. They're not looking to befriend you. They're looking to use you of your energy, and that is it. Thank you for the hearts and the love, okay? But let me get out of here, because I gotta go get some nails for my fingers. I can't walk around like this. Like, my fingers get sore, and I be opening wine and beer at work, and the nails actually help me open the cans. It's strange, I know. And I think I'm gonna go get me a margarita. If you love the live, don't forget to donate, okay? I still take donations. My Cash App is, what is it? $ the light 777. And my Zelle is neoangie3000@yahoo.com. I will put all of that information in the comment section when I leave the live. And I will also put how you can book a phone session with me if you need to chat. I'm available for phone sessions starting next week, starting on Monday of next week. I'll be able to talk to anybody who wants to talk to me next week. You can book your session for next week. All right. Paradigm, being kind to one another. Yes, be kind to one another. Don't be a trauma dumper. Don't be an energy vampire. And naturally sometimes you might be like that, but you're not demonic. Not everybody who's an energy vampire is demonic. Sometimes you can become an energy vampire because you have not done your healing work. It doesn't mean you're a narcissist or anything like that. Like, I used to be very codependent on my friends until I did my healing work, because after my mom died, I had no family. So who can I depend on to be my family? I thought I could depend on my friends. Come to find out, them motherfuckers didn't care about me. So I had to learn to love myself. I had to learn to heal and realize codependency is not going to get you anywhere. All right. But thank God I learned before 30 about that. Right. So that way you have me now, where I'm a more healed version. But trust me, guys, if y'all knew me in my 20s, y'all would not have liked me. I don't think so. Y'all would have enjoyed my personality, but the brokenness of me, y'all wouldn't have liked me. Definitely not. Sorry if y'all saw my junk in the back of me. I just got like shoes and toilet paper and all this stuff behind me. Sorry if y'all saw my junk, but I love you guys. Hey, J Cash. Hey, excellent live story about entitled people who want you for themselves and energy vampires. Yes, and it's crazy because just being nice can get you fucked up. Like, it's not, you know what I'm saying? You being too open, you being too kind, you being too nice. So while you're being kind, make sure you use discernment so you don't end up in my situation. But I peeped her, off the back. I was like, she's too emotional. She's too clingy. So I knew something was up with her, but I'm safe, I'm good. Lesson learned. You got to be careful with these people. All right, let me get out of here. Love you guys. Have a good rest of the week. And I'll be back either Thursday. Hey, love. Hey, honey. Hey, love bug. Email me, okay? What else? Yeah, that's it. And I'm going to put the link for the hair in the comment section for y'all who want to know where my wig came from, okay? All right. Talk to you guys later. Take care. Behave yourselves. All right.